Okay, this is a Dillon 550. I use this to reload for most of the shooting that I do. And I had a couple of friends ask me about reloading. They had no idea about how to do it or how to get started. And I'm kind of a novice myself, but I mean, breaking it down to its most basic form is pretty simple. This is your several stages on this press. You got your sizing and getting the primer in there. You got your opening of the case mouth and your powder dispenser here. Then you put your bullet in here on this third stage back here, and on the back end here you actually crimp and make the bullet fit snug. Drops down here into the dispenser. So a bullet comprises of four major parts, or components rather. You got your brass case, your actual bullet, the projectile, your primer. These are some large pistol primers. These are your ignition source, and of course your gunpowder. So once you got all the information about what you're going to load and how you're going to load it, you can get started. Now I'm using a 45 long Colt as an example here. Obviously the loads are infinite. You can do anything you want. So the way this press works, this shell casing has already got a spent primer on it. You can see where the primer's already been hit. Obviously there's nothing in there, it's gone. So we're going to put that in the first slot. In the first slot, as I push the lever up, it's going to slide that case in there, and it smooths out any dings that case may have and makes it where it's nice and uniform, where it'll fit back in the chamber of your gun. Bring it back down. Now as I do that, you see this part down here is going to move back in. It's bringing a fresh primer right below that shell casing. So as I push it down slowly, I push in a new primer. So now, same case, look. Got a new primer in there now. See how that works? Got to push it down pretty good because you want it to be nice and flush and look correct. Now the next thing I'm going to do is rotate it. Got this little wheel right here, and I just rotate that case to the next stage, which is where we get our powder charge. Now, I elevate again. You notice that the powder measure goes up. It will dispense a specific amount of powder that I need for this bullet to fire correctly without being dangerous. Now, as it does that, it widens this case mouth so that I can take the bullet itself, place it on top, and then rotate this thing again to that next stage. Now what it's going to do is it's going to push that bullet down to the correct depth so that it's in there nice and good. Comes back down. There it is. It's almost done now. Now the last thing we're going to do is just kind of crimp it so it stays nice and snug around the projectile itself. So we come back over here, we rotate it one last time, and we elevate, and we crimp down on that bullet, and then as you rotate it the final time, it'll fall right into here, and now what you have is a fresh, brand spanking new bullet. Terribly simple.